Hello, my friends, and welcome to the latest spin. I'm Mike Spinner, Student Athlete World USA, coming at you on another happy Thursday here in unbelievably cold Connecticut. If you're in a part of the country where the temperature is above freezing, just know how good you have it. When I say it's cold outside, it is the type of cold that honestly, if my house were ablaze, I would somehow try to find a way to stay warm and to stay inside. Like it is. I cannot remember a winter like this one, and I've lived in the Northeast my entire life, pretty much. Right now, there's a temperature gauge on my computer here. It's 12 degrees outside. Like 12 degrees was is this Alaska? So my goodness, it is cold. Where I live in Connecticut, we got a blizzard over the weekend. We got like a foot and a half of snow, and it won't melt because it's just so cold all the time. It's just miserable. And I'm a lacrosse coach. My team's supposed to be conditioning on a field right now, but it's covered in snow. It's awful. Now, on the flip side, I am one of those people that when it's like 95 degrees during the summer, I will always say, I will take a cold winter over this, but not this cold. All right. To me, a cold winter is like, 20s and 30s at night, 40s during the day. Not this. This is just misery. Um, just thank God I drive a car that I have an app that can start the engine and warm up the car. Because like that 5 foot walk to my outdoor walk to my car to take my child to school every morning is just brutal. And it's like 5 feet. It's like 3 steps. And it is brutal. Oh my goodness. If you're in the Northeast and you work outdoors right now, God bless, because I couldn't do it. But otherwise, another busy week here at Student Athlete World as we continue to steamroll to June in the beginning of our touring season. And if you're on our social media, we are filling roster spots every day, but we're still on the hunt. We're still, all of our sports still have some great opportunities available. Biggest update this week, United World Games. For anyone going on that tour, or if you're thinking about going on that tour, just a quick note, we have made a change to that itinerary. The details are not complete yet, but the biggest thing is this. We changed the itinerary originally for this year to make Venice more of a focal point. Venice, Italy, if you don't know the world that well. We did that on purpose because the feedback over the last few years has been it's not enough time in Venice. So what do? We're going to actually land and take off from Venice this year. So we'll be in Italy for a very healthy portion, in Venice for a very healthy portion of that tour. But the other thing we realized while looking at that tour as a whole was that, there are parts of Italy that we will be near that are just too amazing not to visit. So on the fly, we've made a change where we will be in Venice for a nice slice of that tour. We'll be in Austria for the United World Games. So we'll definitely get a really amazing Austrian experience. And then we're going to conclude the tour at some areas of that part of Italy that borders on Austria that are just too spectacular for words. So this year's United World Games tour is going to be different. But if you're into the idea of learning a lot about Italy in person, this is the tour for you. So from the sport element, same amazing experience. But from the travel element, you're going to get a nice big chunk of Italy coming at you. And we're really excited about this. So it's a great and healthy change because I think Austria, to me, one of the most amazing countries that I've ever been to. I've been there twice now, thanks to Student Athlete World, and I've loved each experience tremendously. So you still get the Austria part, but it's that commitment we're making to Italy that I think is going to make this tour off the charts good. We still have roster spots for basketball, not many. Still have roster spots for hockey, not as many as you would think. So there's still opportunities to go on this tour. and enjoy the very best that Italy has to offer. Got to make the application happen, though. So that's a big update from the mothership this week. And now, as always, what in the world? And this week's What in the World is brought to you by, now, it's going to be a surprise, but I have documented my weight loss journey that is now up to 113 pounds as of this morning. And we're going on the 2-year anniversary of the beginning of that journey, about 3 weeks away. And but it's still going to be a fast food sponsor. So this week's What in the World is brought to you by Burger King. Now, why Burger King? So I could not exist within the framework of this weight loss journey without the occasional cheating. All right. So I've gone from a size triple XL to a firm XL. All right. My waist size has gone from, let's just say, too close to the upper 40s to be comfortable to a 36. And I still have a little ways to go here. So I'm feeling pretty good. But I can tell you that that person or those people who lose weight are just on a continuous health kick for the remainder of their time on this planet. I could not do that. I do not have that kind of discipline. I need myself a burger, an adult beverage, some barbecue, especially barbecue, on occasion to remind myself that eating is still fun. I just can't do it like I'm a college kid anymore, ever again. So on occasion, I will slide in there a little something different that my body's like, ooh, I remember this. And I've discovered a product at Burger King that to me might be the greatest food that Burger King has ever created. Now, do I think Burger King is the best fast food place? No, I do not. But this one particular product to me has become almost addictive. Like, I would consider putting all the weight back on for this one product. And it's called the Rodeo Double Cheeseburger. My goodness. If you live near Burger King, do yourself, don't do me the favor. I'm going to do it myself. But do yourself a favor and get the Rodeo Double Cheeseburger. It's a traditional double cheeseburger. On top, you have an onion ring, and it's slathered in barbecue sauce. Now, I have always been a believer that red meat, whether it's steak, hamburgers, etc., pair better with barbecue sauce than ketchup. Don't at me. All right, don't at me for this one. I think it's the truth. I'm not a steak snob. I do like dipping my steak when I have it, which is very, very rare, in a ketchup or a sauce of some kind. I hate A1. I think it's nasty. But if you ever want to treat yourself, get a nice New York strip, my favorite cut, or ribeye, second favorite cut. Dip it in barbecue sauce. You'll thank me later, especially like a spicy barbecue sauce. And this creation from Burger King combines it all. You got Burger King, I think, is the second best fast food hamburger, probably to Wendy's, in my opinion. But a delicious burger, way ahead of like McDonald's and Sonic and some of these other chains. So you get a really quality fast food burger with an onion ring, which I happen to love onion rings. Really good onion rings. The Burger King onion rings I like, but the really good, like the thicker batter ones, the beer battered onion rings. So you get the burger, the onion ring, the cheese, and then the barbecue sauce, and it is magic. It is truly amazing. And if you, like me, and you customize it with some pickles, it doesn't get better. So Burger King, if I've never welcomed you as a sponsor before, you could have sponsored me before. It's been almost 4 years to this show. Welcome aboard, and keep that Rodeo Double Cheeseburger on the menu. It is a winner. It's better than a Whopper. So now, what in the world? What in the world goes out today to the National Football League, more specifically, the National Football League Hall of Fame? Now, I am no Bill Belichick apologist, all right? To me, Bill Belichick, the one real positive he has made is his impact on 4 New York Giants Super Bowl championship teams. Twice as their defensive coordinator, twice as the head coach of the Patriots. All right. So in my opinion, Bill Belichick is a football coaching god because of what he has done to improve my quality of life as a New York Giants fan. Without Bill Belichick, the New York Giants would not be the franchise that they are. So Bill Belichick, in that respect, you are on my Mount Rushmore of sports figures, okay? Between helping us win 2 on our team and helping us win 2 by messing up for the other team. I have 4 Super Bowl championships that I can thank you for. You might be the only person, Bill, if you're watching, and I know you are, that is directly responsible for all 4 of the New York Giants Super Bowl championships. So, but on top of that, as a head coach, Bill Belichick set the record for most Super Bowl championships and most appearances in a Super Bowl. But he was not elected to the NFL Hall of Fame, or Pro Football, I think it's called Pro Football Hall of Fame, on the first ballot. And it's not what in the world. It's, you've got to be kidding me. Okay. I won't say he's the greatest football coach of all time. I think football is one of those sports that has many different eras. You know, there was a time there was no forward pass. So your coaching was based on that strategy. There was a time when a quarterback could be physically abused on every play without a flag. And that was a very different era for football. The rules now have made the game very different in and of itself. You know, it's a passing game. You know, the game revolves around the quarterback. I'll make the argument that when Bill Belichick first became a household name back in the 1980s, when he had Lawrence Taylor and Leonard Marshall and Harry Carson and some other great Giants defensive players, I will make the argument that when he started, the game of football revolved around defense. All right. And then now it truly revolves around offense, especially around the quarterback. So I think football went from a running game to a defensive game to a running/defensive game to a balanced game. And now the current football game is really passing related. And so to say someone is the greatest football coach in the NFL of all time, I think is a very challenging statement. But I think, you know, you have to look at the numbers here. All right. I believe he has the second most wins in NFL history. I believe, and he certainly has won the most number of Super Bowls. And he has achieved more success, in my mind, than any coach in NFL history, even though he doesn't have the wins record. He's close. There is no coach in any sport who should get into the Hall of Fame on day one more so than Bill Belichick. It is ridiculous that he's not going in this year. It is preposterous. He will get in, I'm sure. All right. And people say, well, Deflategate, he cheated, and Spygate, and any other gate, whatever gates there are. Fine. He broke some rules. All right. There are too many Hall of Famers out there that broke rules during their time in a sport, committed crimes during or after their careers. All right. Just bad people who made it to the Hall of Fame. And yes, Spygate, Deflategate, anything else he did. And chances are, I'm a firm believer, when someone gets caught breaking the rules, it only tells a fraction of the story. I'm a firm believer that there's a lot more that must have gone on with Belichick that, you know, maybe gets him suspended, expelled from the sport, etc. So he's no angel. But you cannot deny the success here. All right. Because I'm also of the opinion that if you look specifically at Deflategate and Spygate, other coaches had to be doing it. I can't imagine he's the only one. All right. And so, you know, the only comparison I can make is the University of Michigan had that sign stealing. I forgot the guy's name, a great Netflix special. It wasn't that long ago that allowed them to be successful enough to win a national championship. And they didn't have to vacate their championship. Belichick got caught cheating a couple of times. And the Patriots didn't have their Super Bowls stripped from them. And, you know, Tom Brady, Hall of Famer, right? Deflategate, he got suspended. But no one holds that against Tom Brady. And so why Bill Belichick? Why? Because he was always rude to the media? Okay. Many coaches in sports history have been rude to the media. You know, Greg Popovich fairly recently retired. Hall of Fame coach, no doubt. One of the greatest coaches in NBA history. Worst coach with the media probably in the history of any sport, college or pro. No one's holding him out of any Hall of Fame as far as I know. And what Belichick, dates a child. All right, but she's legal. All right, I'm not saying it's right. All right. I am saying that is who he has chosen to give his heart to, and she has chosen to give her heart to him. Who am I to judge who love each other? Now, if he worked, minimum wage, would whatever her name is, be with him? No. But that's on her. That's on them. They're happy. They have found love in this world. Many people haven't. If that is a reason why he's not in the Hall of Fame, because he's dating someone who he was a member of AARP when she was born, that's not a reason not to put him in the Hall of Fame. The question should be, does his resume and credentials make him worthy of this honor? The answer is yes, with an exclamation point. There are too many shady figures in the Pro Football Hall of Fame to keep Bill Belichick out. And again, I'm no apologist. I'm no Belichick fan. He's had a tremendous impact on my life as a New York Giants fan. All right. But I'm not I don't root for Carolina football because he coaches there. I can't say I've never rooted against him, but I live in New England, legendary figure for the New England Patriots. So I respect the heck out of Bill Belichick. But I love the game of football enough to say it is a travesty that he did not get in on the first ballot. It is just wrong. In my opinion, if he can't get in this year, then there shouldn't be an NFL or Pro Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony, because he's the most worthy of anyone who's going to get in. Just my opinion. And that's it for the latest spin this week. As always, great fun. And as always, we are getting to the fourth quarter of filling our tours, people. There's only one way to do it. Go to studentathleteworld.com, complete your application, interview with this guy, and pack your bags. Have a great weekend. Stay warm. See everyone next week.